Hi, Bharat.
What's up, my friend? So me
My
and Bharat is
is
friends back in school, back in States, like I don't know, a long time ago.
okay. Bharat, your mic is on mute.
Oh yeah, yeah. So sorry. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi. So
Is
that's great.
the Mr. Busy and moderator for today
Yeah.
conversation.
Right. Great. So Nandkishore, Ryan is my classmate, batchmate from masters from Oregon State University. So
Okay.
he
So you
was
both.
working in the US for some time, and then went back to Indonesia, started his own company.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So looks interesting and something that we had discussed long time back. So that's why I thought, we would get to know about his tool more and see whether, I mean, how we can collaborate or we can think about that later on.
Okay. Ryan, basically, what happened was maybe 2 years ago, we wanted to build a house and then we started construction last year.
Hmm.
So when I was wondering, is there any software tool or any project management tool which I can monitor the progress of construction and other details?
Yeah.
And yeah, more or less, when we looked at it, there are more or less like a project management tool, not particularly for construction purpose. So I was asking Bharat if he knows any software and other things, but you have softwares which are like Oracle and other high end, but not like for SME, small and mid segments. So in that scenario, I was just wondering if we have a software like general basic app where the progress of the project like photos, everyday tasks, and what is the material coming in, invoices uploaded, so for the construction and also for the owner and architect who can you know keep all the documents like plans, drawings, everything in one place.
Yeah.
And it's more like structured so that you follow it up, because we mostly communicate through WhatsApp and emails. And if you want to check something, we need to go back and search so many things.
Hmm.
So it's quite tedious and it's quite time consuming.
Yes.
Uh, so instead, we were looking at some kind of app. That is when our thoughts came in. Then recently, Bharat mentioned me about that about you, and you have developed a software or a project management tool, especially for the construction purpose.
Hmm.
I just had a look of your website, and
Yeah.
because it's all in Indonesian language.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so I couldn't. For me at first glance it looked like a standard project management tool. So I don't know how specific features are related. Specific features are there in this particular tool what you have developed, especially for the construction purpose.
Okay, so thank you very much, Kishore, for the introduction. So, I think yes, we've been developing like Progresi almost like two or 3 years, something like that. So, something that we have to underline is the software itself is designed specifically for Indonesian market construction market, right? So, Bharat knows that I used to work for a construction technology company, which is they specialize in utilizing all kind of construction software uh, back in states, but having that idea I try to develop it like here in Indonesia, where not all the features are relevant actually and easy to use for Indonesian people. So we develop it and locally adjusted like to fit like a local situation right here. So definitely our software uh, is designed to plan the project, also the monitoring process, analyzing, and coordinating. So those are basically four pillars that I'm gonna show you later on. So I think it's better if I just take over the screen and show you like how it works. And okay, let me show you this thing. Okay, so I try to open like the browser with Mozilla. Maybe you can download the what was that? Google Translate. Yeah. The Google Translate, so everything is gonna be shown in English, even in for my Progresi software itself. So if you wanna read all about the uh, information about the uh, my website, all will be translated using that adds-on. My IT guy probably gonna send you in the chat room how to translate all this thing. But basically, I'm just gonna lead you all the features of Progressi using my website as well, because those are just gonna refer to these four pillars. We call it four pillars, which reflects basically the construction workflow itself, which is like the first pillars is like for the planning, and the second one is the to monitor the project itself. We call it like daily report features, and the third one is the analyzing project status. That's something that you call it like very tedious because it's just like repetitive work just based on the data. So we make it simple by using like these analysis pillars or features, and the other one, the last one, is the discussion part. So I think it's gonna be clear if I like directly do the demo uh, in uh, in the software itself. Okay, can you see my screen right now? Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
so here's just like the simple sample, actually like a smaller size of work where we can see all this like four pillars. Uh, where we gonna go over first is the planning. Uh, okay, so basically, Progresi is like the web-based software, right? So
Mm.
what we
Ryan,
plan, yeah,
just sorry to interrupt. So before we start, could you just tell us what kind of customers, clients do you work with there in Indonesia?
yeah. Okay, so first of all, first time we think to basically the main customer is the definitely for the contractors. Contractors is the one is the key player to input all the information because they are the one who undergo the construction itself. So they're gonna do all the work, and then because contractor also needs approval from like other parties, like the owner of the owner representative through the construction management firm. So this information also share among many, right? So uh, including the internal of the internal players, internal what was that? The players from the contractor itself, contract general contractor and the subs, and also like the external parties, like including the owners, owner representatives, engineers, and consultant, all those kind of parties. So basically, definitely they have like different access with very limited different limitation on the information itself. So those are standard things. So the contractors share the information to many, all the parties, and we try to target the first time we designed like the software. we try to target the small medium size contractors, which is like majority in my in Indonesia. But we also learned that like big size of company, uh, because they have like more resources and they have like more employees to utilize this, the operation of the software itself, they also are interested in this. However, they also have like a special, I mean, like different or additional requests to add like features that are not in the Progresi like today. So those are the situation basically.
Okay.
Does it answer?
Yep. Yep. Thanks.
Okay. So okay. So now we go back on the planning pilers first, the planning session first, which is actually we try to simplify all the construction process where you see in other software. Probably there are a lot of tools, but we try to make it like as simple and as quick as possible, because like when you really have to have like very spatial skill to adapt the technology, I don't think that Indonesian people can afford to like be patient and like really study and learn how to operate the software. So we try to make it like as simple as possible, which is like what you see in the screen is the bill of quantity of the project, which is this is like the task. The column, this column is for the activity, the task, and then we also have like the unit price here, and then the quantity and the unit, and like the subtotal and the percentage would be calculated automatically. So these are like a pretty standard construction a planning tool, where basically on each task you have like these four uh, planning tools, which is the first one is for the schedule, and then the second one is for the material planning and equipment planning, and also the last one is the for the worker planning. So what we try to plan are these four important elements of the planning. Also, we have safety planning right here, planning tool, and we also control the subcontractors, right? So when we what was that like plan the schedule, so I'm not going to go over like the scheduling class, but basically we try to connect from one task to another using all this what is that preceding task, uh, to connect this the early start early finish mechanism, which I don't explain further, but eventually they will show up like this, all the connection between activities, and also we can calculate the critical path, which determines which activities that lead to delay. If they get delayed, they will run this automatically as well, showing what kind of activity that is critical. And we plan the material itself. So let me open it up one by one for you. So we have the material planning and we have the analysis for each task. This has like different standards from one company to the other. So this coefficient will be are what was that like generated from the analysis for its activities, right? So we have like this different kind of materials that we are what was that created in the master, and then we just put it and insert all the materials that related to this task along with the activities, the quantities, and this one is the material schedule, delivery schedule, where the material has to be delivered on site, like by what day or how many days before the starting date of the activities that has been planned in the beginning previously. So we do it like every single one of the task. So that's how it works. So where you see like there is the mark here, it means like it has been planned. And we go all the way down. We plan every single one of this. Also, the equipment also has the what was that? The same concept where you assign like related equipment that related to this particular task with the quantity when you have to mobilize and demobilize the equipment, because this has a relationship with the sensitivity of the price, where you have to rent the equipment, you don't have it your own. So definitely you have to rent it, and it kind of like the daily rate, right? So you have to know when you have to send it back to the warehouse, right? And where you have to rent it as well, how many days. Okay, so this translation is not like perfect, but at least you guys can understand, right? And the last one is where we plan the workers. So in Indonesia, we have like this lump sum kind of contract for the workers. So, however, we try to measure as well the productivity for each task. So we have to plan here like how many worker, how many helper right here, in order to set a reference where we're gonna compare it later in the daily report session. I will explain you later, but we definitely have to create the basic basis first in order to be a reference, a set stone first. Okay. Uh, so we also have to measure as well like how many workers that has to be deployed in the field, like every day. This one is different than the other way of working planning, because this guy is to measure the productivity. You know, like how many people that will be deployed for each task. This information will be a justification data point to measure like how much progress that they can complete like for each day. So this one has different purpose than this one, because this one is gonna measure like how many man hour that has been uh, what was that like uh, spent like on that day, right? So we want to know, we want to take a measure as well on that. And the last one, we want to measure like we want to plan the safety, where we try to do the job hazard analysis. Maybe Bart can explain further about it. Basically, we try to forecast what kind of potential hazard early in the project, where we put the associated task that is related to that particular like hazard that caused the was that the fatality or the accident. So we try to plan it right here, and that's gonna be related also with the notification that I'll gonna explain you later in the later session. Uh, and then we put like all the control measure, how to prevent or eliminate this problem. Okay, so so let me close like all these windows so you don't get confused, right? And we also have like this three recapitulation after you plan on every single task right here. You can see here all this recap, where the left hand side column, which all the represent all the tasks, and this guy all the way to the right are all the materials that's going to be used in the project. And you see like all numbers within the cells are the quantity. So basically what you plan are being recapped in this column, where you can see the bottom line here is basically the accumulated like quantity for each materials attributed to each task. So you multiplied it with like the unit price right here, you get the estimated total price. So if you slide it
How
over,
do you feed in? How do you feed in the quantities and the pricing here?
So you basically built the data master, master right here in the beginning, right? So I skipped this part because so I skipped this part, right? So basically, you create the data master here. All these materials are the materials that's gonna be used in the project. You can build it gradually. You don't have to like use it like at once, right? Because as you remember, like more materials or more items to add, then you just put it right here, along with the all the description, unit price, and everything. So if you also have like different variation in the price as well, I'll show you later in the daily report where you can see the deviation as well. That's gonna be like. Uh, okay, so that's gonna be later explanation. But basically, the price you build it first, and then later in the planning session you insert the data that you already built right here. So this basically the data master. You build the master file first, like for each criteria, material, equipment, type of worker, and the accident itself. So once you assign on every task, then you can see here in the screen is basically the conclusion or the summary of the quantity of materials related to its task. See you see on the on at the on the bottom line here is the accumulated quantity times the unit price. You get the estimated price for the whole project for these particular materials, right? So if you slide it over to the right, then you get the estimated price for the material components of the project. So as well as the equipment as well, that also has the same treatment like the materials. You get all this quantity, but the different one here you have like the rental day rental duration right here. So that's going to be another variable as a multipliers. You slide it over to the right, that's going to be the same concept. One more thing I forgot to show you, like where you plan on the material delivery. That's it's going to be tabulated right here uh, for every single day, like what kind of materials that you send it over to the site, along with the quantity. And on the right side is the additional information if you need that. But basically, these are the recap of the materials. That goes also the same with the equipment. And the last one is the worker workers. You also have the recap, the summary for each activity. You have like how many worker, helper, and on the pink line on the top are like how many people, how many worker are deployed in the job site every single day, like from day one to the end of the project. So you know. So these are still the what was that, the planning piler, yeah. And the last one is the subcontractor. Subcontractor is the approval kind of system where you put like all this the same task, unit price, quantity, and unit. Later, I'll show you like how it works on the approval method when that's gonna be related to the payment, invoicing, that kind of things related to the progress. So I'll show you later. Okay, so this wrap up the first pilar, which is the planning pilar. It's done. So we move to the monitoring. So this one, okay. So we move to the monitoring system, which is a daily report. So as you can see right here is like from day one of the project start, the start date to the finish date. You see like all these check marks indicating like the daily report has been filed or has been reported. So if there is no a mark right here, the system will remind you that the daily report has not been reported. It means that all the party in the project are waiting to see how much progress that they can complete throughout the day, right? So let me open it up for you, like one example of a day uh, with this daily report. So I wonder why it's not being translated right here, but okay, so I'll show you. So here's like the automated task that is shown on the screen is based on the day of that activity to be started or being started, right? So this will automatically shown right here. So if you have like additional task to be added, so you can just like click plus right here, and then you click any activities that you want to add, right? And then now you want to basically report the progress of the project, and we don't put like percentage value right here. We want to put it like the real actual volume of the project that's being completed, because when you put percentage value, you will never be able to see or visualize how the things are done, right? So 20% doesn't explain anything, but if you put like 200 meters square, that explains something, like how many rows or how many bays that you've completed. So the guy who is gonna input in the information right here, they have to really calculate it. They really have to estimate the volume and put it right here, where you have these four aiding indicators, which is like this one is the daily target. So when you put the volume right here, you can compare it with the daily target, right, where it's beyond or that's below. So you can compare it, the accuracy of your data using like this indicator. So these four indicators are like automatically generated right here, because it's just running through it's run through by a simple calculation. So daily target is just basically like the volume total divided by divided by the number of days. And then if you work more than a day activity, then it has like accumulated value right here. But basically it runs the same calculation like the daily target. It's the same thing. And where you see like this the red column is the global or the total target where you have to achieve during a certain period of time, right? So you can see like the macro view right here, but you can also see like the micro, and but you can also see the macro target right here, which is like the red color is the total target. Okay. And then you put like and you also inputting like how many people that are deployed in the project, so you can estimate how many man hour that has been spent during that day. And you also what was that, put in information the material usage, right? The material usage, you put like how much material that have you spent for this related activity. And you also have like this maximum usage. That is the reference that you set it out in at the first place in the planning in the planning pillars. So you know if your material usage has been beyond or less than your planning. So if that's still positive value, it means like you still have like leftover. You can use like this leftover to other activity, or you can just keep it, or buying less on the next delivery, right? And you have this one is the material delivery, is basically recording how much material that you already uh, sent out in the field related to what uh, task and then mobilization, demobilization equipment are the same concept. So I will not explain uh, more about it. And then this is the weather report as well. So uh, lost productivity due to weather or natural causes. We put this information right here. So if there is raining that impeding the progress of the project, so we put it like how many hours right here. And the last one is
Does
the
not
visual representative from the pictures that helping to visualizing all this information. Okay, so that should conclude the daily report. One more thing, actually, there is a particular report for a field issues. So we have the field issues here. Uh, we reported uh, what kind of issues, and then the reason, what causes it, and then what is the resolution, who's gonna in charge for to take care of that, and then we also uh, record the occurrence date and also the deadline as well, like how many days apart that this task should be completed. So it will not slowing down the project process as well, right? So we have the open and close status system right here. So where it open, it means like you still have like a problem to solve, whereas and vice versa, right? So the closed system, and we keep on tally on the open close cases as well right here. It's the same with safety. It's the same concept, open and closed system, but this is like related to the safety issues. So that should conclude all the second pillar for the daily report. Okay, so let me close like these windows. And the last one, we this is the core of the software, which is like this, the analysis, right? So here's the third pillars is the analysis, is where we get all the information, the project status, from the comparison data between the planning and the actual data in the field. So this all the repetitive compiling mechanism that has been done manually in old days in the field uh, will be so much helpful if we utilize the software, right? Because to just gather and compile the information just to try to draw the conclusion if the project needs a necessary action, sometimes we have to wait it from like many different parties or players. So because we do it all the data inputting like on daily basis, so we don't have to wait, and we just try to create another new culture in the company where everyone will be eagerly to input the information daily, where and then the management team in the office, they will be able to remotely monitor the project. So the first thing, definitely we see like this, the obviously we see like this the project status through comparison of three curves, which is like the blue one is the planning curve, and the orange one is the what's that, the actual performance curve, and the last one is the gray one is the actual cost curve. So I'm not gonna explain further how these three curves comparing each other and like reporting the project status. Uh, but we are analyzing the project status using the earned value management method. Uh, these three curves serve a purpose for uh, indicating if the project is behind the schedule. I mean, from the time perspective and cost perspective, right? So where we can see basically These are two uh, critical variables or parameters in the project. S refers to schedules, C refers to cost, right? So we help the user by using like this color coding and negative and the positive value that representing if the schedule is behind means the color is red. It has the negative value. So accordingly with the cost, if we have like the negative value indicated by the red color right here, it means like you have like cost overrun. And as long as your team, the field team, inputting the information like on daily basis, then you will get the daily data. However, if you put it like, having interval maybe like every 3 days or every week, then you will get like a week apart information. But like these indicators will help the contractors and all the construction parties to see if the project is uh, behind or cost overrun. So we can control it on daily basis. So I'm not gonna explain further about. There are more like variables right here that is gonna be helpful for the forecast, but you can learn it from these formulas and see the values, the beneficial values of these numbers. But the main variables are these three curves, three three curves that we comparison of these three curves, right? And we also get this the project progress up to today, like how many percent has been completed, like for each task. We track it every single one. If you wanna do the filter, you can play around with like these boxes. But overall, you get like 97.2% point two. The project has been completed, so it has like some percentage left. And we also have like this working worker indicator where you plan represented by this blue uh, histogram, and also this orange with the actual number of worker deployed in the field. So you can learn like from this histogram, also assess the risk if you have like excess worker number of worker as well. Definitely you will get cost overrun or inflated cost on the workers. And on the other hand, if you have like less worker, then you also have risking yourself not completing the job on time. You also have like this uh, what was that, the man hour summary for each day, how many people deployed in the field. So if you have like a variation on the price as well, you can report it right here, and the system will automatically calculate it for you, like accumulated like man hour times different price, and then you have like a different variation cost between these planning and realization values. So okay, so you have the subcontractors, the subs, where you can measure. You can use. Okay, so this is like the approval method that I was talking about. You have subcontractors proposing the progress to the general contractors. If they are directly approved or they need to do the revision, everything will be logged, the time log, and also the person who are doing it. So there not gonna be any blaming culture between subs and the general contractor, because everything would be monitored or registered digitally. Okay, so basically that's how it works in sorry in the let me go back. Okay. Okay, the subcontractors. And then the material analysis, you'll get all these variables where you can do the analysis on like the materials, building materials that are used or being used in the project, attributed to every task, and then you have a comparison of when the material was planned to be delivered on site versus the actual date the material has been delivered to the site. If you have like if early delivery, then you have like this color coding, green colors by 2 days. On the other hand, if you are late on delivery, then you have like this colors, the red colors, indicating because it risking your project to behind schedule because the material is not delivered on time, right? And you get also the quantity as well reported here. You can use the filter as well by the material, and also filter like by periods on the date, so you can run the analysis yourself. You do the full summary, the global recap summary for every materials for the whole project between the planning and the actual quantity that has been delivered to the site, also with the color coding. You also have the material usage right here. It's the same concept, but you have the very useful indicator here, the maximum usage and the leftover, the remainder. If that's green, it means you still have some leftover that you could also use for different activities or different tasks, right? You can play around with the filter and also the summary. Equipment is the same thing, so I will skip that part. You have the actual cost. It's like your bank account where you do like the expenses. It will have like negative value on your balance, whereas you have like the a payment from the owner, you get the positive value that will do the accumulation on the balance, and you keep spending expanding on on your materials or labor costs, then will deduct it your balance every single day. You can run with the filter as well to make you easier on the analysis process. And we go all the way down here, you get the total, the last balance, the ending balance, if it is positive value or negative value. That will show you if you need to top up your capital to continue the project or not. And you have the field issues, the same thing. It's just registered, the same thing like the previous one, but it's the whole recap, the whole project. Field issues, the safety issues, the same thing. And you have the weather summary for the whole month, where you see like there are 3 days here that are downpour is ongoing, so you can see if how many hours that stops your construction production in the field. And so that should conclude the analysis uh, pillars. And the last one is the discussion or coordination tools, right? Where you see this is like the notification report. Everything that has deviation or variation in the field that should be notified to all parties, it will all registered or tabulated in here based on different criteria. So for example, if you do not report your daily report, it will put a notification right here. If your task is behind, it will give you like notification. Your material is like out or running out, it will show you notification. Equipment as well, timely delivery measure, worker. If you are low or high number, in workers in the field that has different risks on your project, and also constraint. If you have like a field issue or safety issue, it will put you on notification. Discussion also put you on notification, and this notification not only shown in the web platform, but most importantly, it will show up in your mobile phone. So if you also have a discussion, it will show up here. Everything will be registered here with this unique number, automated generated numbers. So you can track it down on every issue. If you have like contextual conversation between parties, you can see here the status is still open. It means like still under discussion. It's still not closed yet. Still not end yet. So it still keep on going on, and we see like if parties are participating on uh, like overcoming the problem if there is any, and you can close the status. So it's basically all wrap up the demonstration of the Progresi. That's what we built, and this is a live development because as we keep uh, getting clients, and uh, we what's that keep getting like inflow of information or revision or improvement on this. So uh, we do it gradually as our clients request. Uh, and this service is also monthly based uh, service. So basically, that should wrap up all my demonstration. If you guys have any question about like either technical or business question or anything, we can start.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan, for giving the demo. So my
Yeah.
question was on the subscription part. So how do you charge your client, the existing clients, and how much does it cost there in Indonesia? Um, is it a monthly
Yeah.
cost or based on projects, or how do you charge your clients?
So how we charge is regularly. You can read it actually in my what was that website.
Mhm.
We have the pricing here. So it's on the monthly basis. These are the rate. However, I need to explain you more about the business itself in Indonesia,
Mhm.
where actually it should like apply everywhere as a contractors that doesn't have regularity or certainty on the duration of the project and also the continuation of the project itself.
Mhm.
So you do apply the monthly basis that should suitable for contractors, because if you think that you have secured the project throughout the year and use the yearly subscription, but if you have like a 6 months project and then you have no project afterward, then you can stop, and then on the next month if you want to continue to because you have another project, then you can. So it's just turns out like very flexible to the contractors when they want to subscribe or when they want to turn off the subscription. It opens for them like at all time, right? We do not limit on the number of the projects that is being used, or so there is no limitation on the number of the projects. There is no limitation on number of the users as well. So they can use the general contractor should do the should operate and do all the management activities, and all the information that has been reported to the platform is shared to all the parties. So that's how it works. uh, yeah, so that's how it should regularly work on the.
So,
Yeah.
so if we 1 year subscription, so you can add multiple projects. So, for example, I have 5 projects running, so I can use the same all the projects are shown in the same user,
Yes.
like
So
project
project number
A.
one, project number two, project number three, and you can on keep on adding right here.
Okay. Uh, I see. If there is any project of construction, there are multiple stakeholders normally, like an architect, structural, what do
Yes.
and the owner and the contractor, and of course subcontractors.
Mm.
Do you have any login, like login as an architect or login as a
Yes.
structural or login as a owner? Because
Yes.
you have this user rights. Suppose the contractor doesn't want to share all the details to the uh, owner, or architect doesn't want to share all the details to some other. So there are multiple stakeholders or people in this project. Do you provision or how is that?
Yes, just as you can see here, you have like many different roles right here that has limitation on each role.
Okay.
Definitely all the confidentiality protected, including all the price and all the quantity, that kind of things for unrelated parties. So
No,
we, yes,
what I was asking is the owner will not have certain rights to to see the invoices of the contract or how many labors
yes,
he do they have that rights?
yes. So the only person who have the full access, full information is the contractor. So
He's basically
contractors,
admin.
say that again. I'm sorry.
He's basically the admin.
Yes, the admin.
So he has control of all the things.
Yes,
And for example, if I log in as an architect, I can only view certain documents,
yes,
not documents. As a owner, I can view architects' plans, structural plans, and contractors' progress,
yeah,
not in detail of his intricacies of all the workers, labors. That I am not interested as a owner.
yes,
So those user rights are all sorted
yes.
when you log.
That's our that is sorted out. Yes, we limit the access.
Okay.
So
So whenever
one more thing, yeah. So on the other day you mentioned about Procore, right? So that Procore, the software construction software, right? And Kishore also mentioned about like the documents. So all we do right here in Progresi is limited to the scope that I explained for last 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So that Procore thing is scope for the document control, where all the tedious and the what was that, the document flow, the document traffic between internally for the general contractor and externally, like architect owners, which owner representatives and everything. We are in the process of developing process of development. So that doesn't include progressive doesn't include that scope yet, but that's what we gonna build in the future. So it will complete the construction management activity process for the progressive.
so what technology is used to build this?
No idea because I'm the construction guy.
Your technical guy can say.
Hello. Let me explain the technical aspect here. The technical aspect, we have two apps. The one is web app and one is mobile app. In web app, we use PHP, uh, and
ASP,
for the mobile app, we use capacitor and Angular. It's built on Angular capacitor.
Angular. Okay.
Yeah. So
Uh,
it's gonna be a hybrid app. Yeah, it can be
it's a
used
high.
for Android and iOS.
So
So
this is based or a web based? It's both.
yeah, it's
Web
both.
based,
Hmm?
The
web based.
one Mr. Ryan explained before is only web based, but we do have mobile app, and you might try it from. Play Store or App Store.
And which is your hosting? Where do you host your data?
We host our data on cloud server. Yeah, cloud server. The
You
server is located in Singapore.
is
It's
it
based
is
in.
it your own server?
Yes, it is
We
our
run our
own server.
server. Yeah, it's rented
You
actually. It's a cloud server. Like when you run every AWS, like that. It's in cloud.
Okay. So you mean to say it's an Amazon cloud server, right?
Excuse
Something
me.
like that, I think.
no,
Right.
I didn't get that still because is it like you have an in-house server in your office which is hosted, or you are hosted on Amazon server like Bharat said?
Excuse me. Could you please repeat, sir?
I
Sorry.
mean to say, is it hosted on your own server, like physically in your office, or you have servers like AWS or Google servers or some other service provider?
Yeah, it's the latter. We use VPS. So we run a server from the likes of AWS like that. Yeah, we don't have our own physical server in our office.
I think it's PPS, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, VPS. We use VPS. So we hosted it on cloud, not in our own physical server. Yeah, because yeah, the technology nowadays enable it.
So it's the bar chart or the progress is created as and when you feed in the data, like just like project.
Your voice is breaking, I think.
Oh, sorry. Uh, I mean, when you feed in the data, the bar chart is created just like a MS project. That's what I could see.
Yes, it is.
Like a suppose you change anything, it automatically changes the other task and duration
Yes,
and
yes, it is.
everything.
Yes, it is.
And also when you feed in the data, the workers data, you also update the skills and other things.
It is.
Okay.
It's the compatibility. Yeah, we try to give the best compatibility to legacy technologies. Yeah.
So what is the scalability?
Scalability, you mean like for the clients or
In
Yes.
technical aspect, basically, we can make anything. Yeah, that's it. In the technical side, yeah, it's just the business side. Let's see what the clients need, and we'll wait it. Is it worth it to do it, and is it needed by most people? If it's so, yeah, we can build it.
Okay. So what is the proposal, Ryan?
so on the other day, so we definitely will uh, discuss what is the situation in India, or maybe if you also wanna work on it in the Indonesian market, that also works too. We definitely need to think over if that's possible to run it in India, because on the other day Bharat mentioned if there is a company. I used to work in a construction technology company as well, like back in Fremont, right? In California, right? So it's a company that is promoting and utilizing the construction software, not limited to any kind of software, based on the client needs. And if there is in Indonesia, there is no service like that, like for a specific particular company that servicing the clients by utilizing the technology, because the technology adaptation in here is still slow. But on the other day, Bharat mentioned if people have used is Procore and many other things. So if Progresi fits the market there, and if there is any like company like what was that the what was that the what do you call it, like the company who runs like all that services like running the utilizing the software, then we can squeeze in there if that's possible, right? But definitely you guys can tell me better about the house situation and how we can fit in there, about the progressive. But I just show you like the software that is designed based on the Indonesian culture. We don't know if you guys need like more uh, adjustment in which part as well.
Ryan, yeah, I think you hit the right nail. Um, because right now, after seeing the demonstration, and I have also seen quite a bit of tools that are available here in India. There's it looks like we need to work a little bit more
Mm,
on the the software, because right now India is exposed to a lot of software which is a little more polished. Um, I'll just give you an example. The reports that you did, right? Some of these guys are integrating it with Microsoft Power BI. So
Microsoft what?
Power BI,
Mm.
Power BI. Okay. I mean, even you guys can try that out. So uh, it will fit. It will fit to an extent where, like Nandakishore mentioned in the beginning, that we were looking at for some tool that caters to small and medium construction or contractors.
Mm.
And for that, I think Progresi looks suitable, but we might have to put a little bit more of work into making it much more simple and more user friendly. Right now, your tool is perfect for, say, a mid size to a large size general contractor.
Mm.
But if we make it much more comfortable for a small size contractor, I think we have a bigger market to explore. Okay. And when it comes to Nandkishore and you guys can think over it. I mean, if you have any proposal in mind, Ryan, you can let us know what you would like to do, or if you want to catch up sometime later, also that's fine. And even Nandkishore, that's same to you.
Mm.
So, what do you guys say?
Definitely, we are still have so many things, so many task lists in our backlog where we need to complete. Our software is not the final products because this is like, as I said, like this is a live product that still
And
developing.
continuous process actually. You keep enhancing the software and
Yes,
also doing the technology in that.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like one time prototype and you're just done with it. It is not, and because that is the problem with this IT industry, because you have to keep updating the technologies, everything, hence the user requirements. So is it more like a customizable for each and every user, or is it like a standard?
So we try to make it standard for us. We try to make it standard. So, but if we find it like something that is valuable and very necessary for us to be enhanced in Progresi, we will do it. So that's the task list that we keep on adding, right?
No, you have set of modules, and then is that possible to customize it?
The IT guy maybe can answer.
It's about module customization. Yeah,
Yeah.
about module customization. Wait.
So you mean like a
Okay.
request from from one company to another is different. That's why you use like this standard module as a general platform, and then where you find like someone that has a special request and you add like more uh, features. Is that
I think
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and
No, no.
also the workflow between different contractors will be different. The workflow, the process of the
Okay.
material coming in, whatever. So can we tweak the workflow and modify it for each?
I think
I
at
see. I
the
see.
end, yeah, in the business perspective, yeah, maybe in the technical aspect, IT people can answer. But for me, in the business perspective, if you find the market and if generates money, then definitely we will adjust. But the IT guy, please uh, explain about the feasibility of,
All
yeah,
right.
possibility.
I'm gonna explain. Please let me explain. Yeah, it's because we're basically a product. We don't do custom jobs. It's like a yeah, like a custom software. No, no, it's not a custom software. It's a product. Progress is a product. You subscribe to Progresi and you use Progresi as it is. Yeah. And then what about the request of the clients? We take into account for the roadmap of development. That's it. Not because just because one a company asks for some feature and then we'll do it right away for that particular company. It's not like that. Yeah, because we are a product.
So basically, what we try to do to accommodate like many different requests from companies is we filter it out. What is the most priorities request, and we, as long as we can accommodate it
Uh,
in our
Pardon?
software, we accommodate it. But for particular, like for one company to the other, and like without any uh, in that consideration, we don't do that because we sell it as a product. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
But if we find like like common request, something like that, we
uh,
can consider it.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Ryan. Can you please turn off the presentation? It's still on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. All right. Does it answer you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, does it answer you? No. We are basically given our already given our answer about is it a custom software or is a product? Yeah. Is it customizable? Yeah. The answer is no because we are a product, but we take to the account of the client request as further development potential.
and how long has it been on the development front? Since when are you working on this?
Say that again. Your voice is very low.
Since when are you working on Progresi? Yeah. How long has the development taken?
Maybe 18.
Sorry, guys. I need to actually drop off. Um,
Okay.
I need to
Let's catch
get.
up. We will also do some coming, and then we will come back to you, Ryan, on this.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's we
Stay
can
in touch.
yeah, think about it, brainstorm it.
Okay.
Sure,
Thanks.
sure.
Have a
Thanks.
nice. Bye,
Thank
bye,
you.
All
guys.
right. Thank you,
Thank you, Bharat.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Mr.
Kishore.
Bharat.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks, Ryan.
Nanda. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye, bye.
Bye.
Weekend.
Goodbye.